Bonne fête du Canada à vous tous. C'est avec grand plaisir que la ville de Beaconsfield vous présente un spectacle quand même assez spécial cette année afin de pouvoir célébrer tous ensemble, mais du confort de chez nous. We could all probably benefit from a good dose of humor and laughter these days. So I invite you now to join our country's best loved musical comedy duo as they present a never before seen show prepared especially for us. Aren't we spoiled? Bonne fête Canada, happy Canada Day, veuillez accueillir Bowser and Blue.
We're on?
We're on.
Okay.
Happy Canada Day, everyone.
Happy Canada Day.
I don't think they could hear with these on. Do you think we should take them off?
Well, yeah, I think we
Okay,
can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. That's all right. I can breathe.
My glasses were fogging up.
Yeah, hasn't happened for a long time, has it?
It's Canada Day again. Yes. It is c'est le 153e Fête du Canada. That's 153 years, and that's approximately our combined age.
Yes.
And so we'd like to celebrate with singing a special song. Well, here we are again, c'est la fête du Canada. All the women and the men, c'est la fête du Canada. The binary, transgender, every human everywhere. It's a day for us to share, c'est la fête du Canada. Whatever you believe, c'est la fête du Canada. If you live and you can breathe, c'est la fête du Canada. It's what keeps us all together, even when we are apart. It's our beating heart, c'est la fête du Canada. C'est la fête du Canada. Célébrons, c'est notre droit. Adieu tristesse, bon débarras. C'est la fête du Canada. Excusez-le. That voice was a little wobbly there, but never mind.
Oh, I think that was wonderful.
Thank you very much, Rick. You're very supportive.
Yes, and we should introduce ourselves.
That's
what do
true.
you say?
Good idea. I'm George Bowser.
I'm Rick Blue.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? George.
Rick.
Rick. The P is silent.
Okay. Instrument change.
Right. All set?
Yeah.
I'm glad I live in Canada, who wouldn't like it here? Canadian is a railway, Canadian is a beer. The Order of Canada is given out with ease. The Order of Canada is
2 Molsons, please.
There's 2 kinds of people in the world that I have met. Canadians and people who aren't Canadians yet. There's a test you have to take to be a citizen. Would you like to be a Canadian?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in. I'm glad I live in Canada, and now that we can't leave, let's keep our social distance and cough into our sleeve. If you're not sure what 6 feet is, here's a simple trick. It's about the length of
A hockey stick.
I'm glad I live in Canada, for that I do give thanks. I like lakes and mountains and real estate and banks. We're living in the country or the city or the burbs, hoping for a better day and waiting for our serves.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, that was great. I'm going to take this off now because I don't need it.
Right. We'll do one more song about Canada. This is a traditional Canadian folk song that we wrote. Just getting comfortable here. Okay. We came here to work and to play. We came 100 years ago. We came yesterday. We came to a brand new nation. We came through customs and immigration. We came from England and France. We crossed the Bering Strait without any pants to the land where the wild geese honk. We came here to build, we came here to bunk. We're all here with the moose and the bear. We're all here in our long underwear. We're all here, and what do we share? We're all here, 'cause we're not all there.
Rick, this lockdown has been tough for everyone.
Yes, it has.
I reckon those two guys who went into space, they picked the right time to leave Earth.
Sure did.
And the PM has done a great job. Every day he came out of his house, and if he saw his shadow, we got another week of lockdown. But I'm pleased to tell you, Rick,
What, George?
my wife fell in love with me all over again during the lockdown.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I think they call that Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yep. You know, wild animals have been seen in places they were never seen before.
What kind of places?
Well, like this morning, I went into my kitchen and there was a raccoon there.
Oh, yeah.
He was wearing my mask.
Ah.
And I said, "Hey, that's my mask." The raccoon said, "What do you need it for? You never leave the house." I've learned a few new skills, Rick.
What kind of skills, George?
I've learned how to make a proper video chat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, rule 1, don't sit with your back to the window.
Uh-huh.
Rule 2, raise the screen.
Right.
Rule 3, always press mute before you flush.
Good tip. Good tip.
Important. And I've learned a lot about COVID. COVID is a virus that causes severe respiratory distress.
It does.
Or disease, or both. And some people say, it's just a kind of flu. Well, I guess it's just a kind of flu if you believe a man-eating tiger is just a kind of pussycat. Or if you believe a guillotine is just a razor. Or a lobotomy is just a haircut. Lockdown has affected different people in different ways. Now, I have, as you know, I have a relative who owns an IT company. You know what IT stands for?
IT, yes. Information technology.
That's pretty good.
Computers.
Yeah, so everyone in his office, they're computer nerds.
Yeah.
I said, "How's business?" He says, "Well, at the start of the lockdown, I had to tell the staff, I'm afraid you all have to stay home, look at your computer screens, and not see anybody."
Uh-huh.
No problem.
They loved it.
They were right into it. That was the punchline. There's more. Small businesses are starting to recover. And when I say small businesses, of course, I mean Air Canada.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
why am I saying it? Because at the airport,
Yes.
they're adding a lot of new levels of security. Like, for example, already you went to the airport, you get free x-ray,
Yeah.
you get a scan,
Yeah.
now you get a temperature check,
That's right.
and if you mention Al-Qaeda, you get a free colonoscopy.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah. But the lockdown has been terrible for musicians. It's killed more gigs than disco. But there are people even worse off.
There are?
The actors, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Think of the actors. All the theaters are closed, and not only the theaters, but also the restaurants.
The restaurants.
So where are the actors going to work?
Exactly.
It's tough, I'm telling you. However, take heart. I say take heart.
Yes.
Because the hippies have finally won.
Yes, we have. Yes.
Pot is legal.
Yes.
You can't get a haircut,
Right.
and everyone is spaced out.
We're all here
'Cause we're not all there. I'll put on my guitar now so that I'm ready.
We'll talk about being here in Montreal. Montreal, yes. Yes, indeed.
Well, we're close to it, aren't we? I mean,
It's actually we're here in Bakersfield, and it's not Montreal. This is a city, an independent city.
yeah,
It's
own.
like back, when they had Venice and Florence and Verona and all those independent city-states.
In Florida? Oh,
No, Italy, eh?
Italy's in Europe,
And so Bakersfield is like it's a little independent city-state.
but it's connected to Montreal
It
by
is.
road.
It
right?
is.
You
It
have to
is.
get there but Montreal is bilingual, which I think is great.
Bilingualism, it's a wonderful thing.
is wonderful.
I believe in it. It's like a French kiss.
How's that?
It's a mix of the two tongues.
Yeah, well, it's a problem for the tourists.
Is it?
Yeah, they go to a swimming pool and the sign says piss in. It's confusing. You know, the other day before all this happened, I was in a restaurant and there was an American visitor in the diner, and the waitress came over and said, "Can I take your order?" And he said, "I'd like a quickie."
Oh,
And she smacked him.
she smacked him.
Yeah, and he turned to me and he said, "What did I do?" And I said, "It's pronounced quiche."
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Well, there's, a lot of Americans are used to coming to Montreal because we had a reputation as being Sin City.
That's right.
Sin City, wide open city and that, and
The bump and grind.
the bump and grind, exactly.
That used to be the strip clubs.
Uh-huh.
Now it's the commute.
The commute, yes.
I don't know about you. I live at the corner of Barré and Détour. What's your sign?
Closed.
Autoroute, gentille autoroute. Autoroute, je te fermerai. Je te fermerai la vin.
Je te fermerai la vin.
Et la vin.
Et le vin.
Autoroute.
Autoroute.
Autoroute, gentille autoroute. Autoroute, je te fermerai. Je te fermerai la 15.
Je te fermerai la 15.
Et la 15.
Et la 15.
Et la 13.
Et la 13.
Et la 20.
Et la 20.
Et la 10.
Et la 10.
Calice. Autoroute, gentille autoroute. Autoroute, je te fermerai. These roadworks projects constantly extend. Cone after cone, it never seems to end. When it's all finished, it'll be a new age. You'll get a nice smooth ride for your funeral cortege. Main road's closed, but you find a way through to the alternative road, but they closed that too. Game, game, game of cones. Game, game, game of cones. ETA as usual is unknown. I'm stuck in the city playing the game of cones. There's workers on the sites in their high vision gear. Find myself wondering, how did they get here? Cause you can't get there from here, and you can't get here from there. In fact, you can't get anywhere from anywhere. You're in a traffic jam 5 kilometers long. You figure something up there must be terribly wrong. They must be doing some humongous repair. And then you get to the side and there is nobody there. Kids are in the car. Mama raised them well. They're not allowed to curse and they're not allowed to yell. I practice what I preach, chapter and verse. Most of the time I never curse. And then we get stuck behind some huge dump truck and the kids say, Mommy, Daddy said, game, game, game of cones. Game, game, game of cones. We're gonna spend our life in a construction zone. Stuck in the city, stuck in the city, stuck in the city, playing the game of cones.
right. Hey, that was a song from our new album called Hindsight. Why is it called Hindsight?
Well,
Because it's 2020.
Here, look, we got a picture of it.
You have one?
Look at that. Can you get a close-up of that, guys? Yeah, that's
A new album.
a new album.
Soon to be available on our website, right?
Yeah, it will be, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could see that. It looks like exactly what we look like, which is either good or bad, depending on your point of view.
All right, well, here's a song from that album, another song from that album. That one we just did was a song from that album, and this one's another. My goodness. Okay. It's about our mayor, what she wants. Been decided by a committee to turn our town into Bicycle City. You can go from here to there with your head down and your bum in the air. 2 wheels for everyone. Go where you want to, what you want to do. Stop signs never will apply to you. Ride on through and never linger. If the driver honks, give him the finger. Been decided by a committee to turn our town into Bicycle City. You can go from here to there with your head down and your bum in the air. 2 wheels for everyone. Winter here is 8 months long, but we'll all ride bikes, what could go wrong? Feel that northern winter breeze now. Shrink my boys to the size of peas now. I got a super flow saddle, an eggshell right, and a carbon wheel set that's out of sight. An Italian frame, so look out ladies, my bike costs more than a Mercedes. With my spandex shirt and my spandex pants, it'll be just like the Tour de France. Traffic will come to a standstill now. Look out buddy, it's the Tour de Ville now. Been decided by a committee to turn our town into Bicycle City. It's the way our mayor wants to see us. If you can't afford a Prius, 2 wheels for everyone. Oh, Bicycle City, Bicycle City, Bicycle City.
Okay. That's fine.
All right.
I'm going to change my guitar now.
Cool. Let's relax.
Yes, the pressure's off. Don't let the absence of an audience bother you. There's a huge one in my head.
A huge audience in your head.
I imagine myself having an enormous audience.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's your life, but my life is I'm worried.
What are you
I'm worried because, you know, one of the first symptoms of COVID-19 is that you lose your sense of taste.
Oh, my gosh.
It is. And the other day I was in my car listening to the radio, and a Nickelback song came on. And I was hearing it, and I was thinking, you know, that's not bad.
Wow. That's serious. I'm worried, too.
You're worried? What are you worried about, George?
I'm worried that all my retirement savings are all in a Ponzi scheme.
What's a Ponzi scheme?
Well, that's when they take the money from the new investors and they use it to pay off the old investors.
You gave your money to Bernie Madoff?
No, it's in the Canada Pension Plan.
Oh.
When I look at my pension, I find it's kind of thin. It seems I'm always taking out less than I put in. I'm scrimping, I'm saving, I'm counting every dollar. It looks like a pension, but it's smaller. I know I should have paid attention. I've got pension envy, 'cause I've got a small pension. Maybe with friends I'm out on the town. Then comes the moment that the check comes around. I see the looks, the condescension, because they know I've got a teeny weeny pension. Teeny weeny, teeny weeny, teeny weeny pension. Those emails in my inbox would have my attention if they could promise to enlarge my pension. Viagra, Cialis, they're no good to me. I need something to rub on my RRSP. I need a pension extension. I got pension envy, 'cause I've got a small pension. My pension plan is in tatters. When it comes to a pension, size matters.
Okay. Put on that Telecaster now.
I'd like to do a song now, a song about a very important state.
The welfare state?
No, it's more important than that.
The police state.
No, it's bigger than that.
Oh, the Empire State.
Even bigger than that.
Really?
The prostate.
Oh.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. It was about 2:45. Woke up this morning. It was about 2:45. I woke up because I had to pee. The prostate blues, you know it just ain't right. Got the prostate blues, you know it just ain't right. Can't figure out how come I don't go all day, but then I have to go all night. to wake up every morning and never waking up at all.
We'd like to now introduce the banjo to the show. The banjo, of course, is not Canadian. It's an American folk instrument. And just to show you how American this instrument is, when you tune a banjo, and some people do tune a banjo, when you tune the banjo, this is what the open strings look like.
And sound like.
And sound like, my God.
Sounds familiar.
Anyway, we're not American, we're Canadian.
Great.
And I'm very proud of being Canadian, and especially proud of the fact that George and I are the first and only openly gray musical comedy duo in Canada. Gray. Openly
Great. Thank
gray.
you.
Well, I have this friend, I'm not gonna say who. She gave up on blonde and went prematurely blue. And if I dyed my hair, well, I'll say heck what for? If I do, I might not get the senior discount anymore. So it's okay to get a little old and to go a little gray. Think of all the money that I saved this way. It's okay to be gray. If I dyed my hair and made interesting shapes, well, then the carpet might not match the drapes. 'Cause I'm gray in places that you never want to see. I just think of it as gray anatomy. Yeah, fashion designers are going around the bend. They're trying to keep up with the latest trend. What's new, what's hip, what screams today? 50 Shades of Grey. I still get together with my old gang. We used to hang out, now we just hang. But if we took our clothes off and walked about, well, maybe the kids would finally move out. So it's okay to get a little old and to go a little gray. How can I miss them when they never go away? It's okay to be gray. Take us home. You know, when you reach middle age,
As Rick has,
you become invisible to younger women.
which is all of them.
You can see them, but they can't see you.
If you remain well hidden.
But even so, somehow you think that something might be possible.
Prison.
I know she likes me. She dreams about me. She wants to see me. She wants me. know she likes me.
As a stranger,
She dreams about me.
and wakes up screaming
She wants to see me.
in the distance
She wants me.
to go away.
She wants to call me.
A taxi,
Invite me over.
a cliff,
She'll stand behind me.
and push
She wants me.
to go away.
She wants to squeeze me.
Through a porthole
She finds me attractive.
to fleas,
She really needs me.
to drop dead
She even wants to kiss me.
off
She remembers me.
and winces
She talks about me.
to her lawyer,
I know she'll have me.
stuffed and mounted
She wants me.
to go away.
I inspire her.
With pity,
She misses me.
her aim is improving
She wants my heart.
on a spike.
She wants me.
No,
She wants me.
no,
She wants me.
to go away.
You know, George,
Yes.
COVID-19 managed to do something that all the feminists could never manage to do.
Goodness, what did they do, Rick?
Well, first of all, they managed to cancel Sunday football.
Yes.
And second of all, they closed all the bars.
Right?
And third of all, they finally managed to get men to stock up on toilet paper.
All right. That's my favorite joke. And I have a song about it.
You do have a song.
Yes. Listen to this. When I grew up, my family was very, very poor. But we scraped by and somehow we kept hunger from the door. Even in the leanest times, my daddy used to say, no matter what, you'll always get your 3 squares a day. Daddy might have been in debt, he earned his wages with his sweat, but we knew we would always get 3 squares a day. But to this end we soon did learn we had to do our part. Saving money, cutting corners, we had to live smart. And so with toilet paper too, his rule we would obey. With no excuse, we'd only use 3 squares a day. And he said, do your part for Uncle Sammy. Learn a bit of origami, you can score a triple whammy. 3 squares a day. 3 squares a day, my daddy used to say, are your allotted rations come what may. 3 squares a day keeps bankruptcy at bay. But today there is an issue that you can't buy toilet tissue. Oh, how I miss you, my 3 squares a day.
All right, now we'd like to do a country song. Now, I know some people think country music is just for lowbrow, uneducated, semi-literate people. But I would never, ever denigrate country music fans. And if you are a country music fan, denigrate means to put down.
Thank you. 1, 2, 1. When you are in a big box store, you don't know what you'll find. I met my wife at Walmart, thank goodness love is blind. I saw her, it was 2 a.m. I knew she was the one. I was picking up groceries, and she was buying,
She was buying,
she was buying,
she was buying,
she was buying
a gun.
That slogan on her t-shirt said our love was meant to be. The words said I'm with stupid, and the finger pointed to me. I said let's go to my place, 'cause I think you are hot. She said my place is closer. I live in the parking,
Live in the parking,
live in the parking,
live in the parking
live in the parking
lot.
We laugh when we remember the way she won my heart. I walked right up behind her and she fell in my cart. And now we travel together, there's no place that we've not been. We're going to visit China. It's over an aisle,
Over an aisle,
over an aisle,
over an aisle,
it's over an aisle 16. We never even bothered with all that legal stuff. The greeter gave his blessing, and that was quite enough. So that's how we got married, that's how it was done. I walked her down the aisle, and our two carts,
our two carts,
our two carts,
our two carts,
our two carts were one. The thing that clinched the deal for me and near drove me insane was that sweat stain on her buttocks. It seemed to spell my name. Now when you are in a big box store, you don't know what you'll find. I met my wife at Walmart. Now I'll never leave her,
I'll never leave her,
I'll never leave her,
I'll never leave her,
I'll never leave her behind. In a big box store, it's a paradise. A big box store where you pay the lowest price. A big box store, it has the common touch, and you can even find a wife. And you don't have to pay.
don't have to pay,
You don't have to pay.
don't have to pay,
You don't have to pay too much.
All right, yes, you got to get out 12 string because this is a song that needs all 12 strings.
That's right.
We need all 12 strings on this song.
Beaconsfield deserves all 12.
Yeah, 6 is just not enough.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a song about Canada. Well, kind of about Canada. Canadians, you know, drink a lot of coffee.
Is that right?
Yes, in fact, we drink 14 million cups of coffee a day.
The
Yeah, we
average
should find that Canadian and stop him, you know? And, well, coffee's important in my life. You know, one of my best friends, we used to call him Decaf
Why?
because there was no active ingredient in his bean. Ba-da-doom. Yeah, anyway. How do I take my coffee, George? Very seriously. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Coffee and a donut is number 1 on my list when the day's begun, so I can go out and get her done. Coffee and a donut. Napoleon met his Waterloo because of what he didn't do. Wash some dough down with a brew. Coffee and a donut. Johnny Casey came to bat. He was full of peanuts and Cracker Jack. He should have chosen a better snack, coffee and a donut. The Queen of France lost her head. Let them eat cake, is what she said. She should have offered them instead coffee and a donut. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, coffee and a donut. What I can't live without. Oh, coffee and a donut. When I get out of bed. Oh, coffee and a donut. And my Fitbit tells me I'm dead. Oh, coffee and a donut. When life began is just a guess. The Big Bang Theory is the best. Life starts for me when I ingest coffee and a donut. Coffee and a donut is heaven sent for when you get up and go. Got up and went. If it didn't exist, we'd have to invent coffee and a donut. One more time.
Hello.
Mr. Chrétien,
Hello.
what are you doing
Hello,
here?
everybody in Canada. You know, I learned many things about the history of Canada.
You did?
I learned many things that I did not know.
Oh.
And some of those things that I did not know those things.
And what are those things, sir?
Well, I learned that for thousands of years, people would come to Canada, but they would not stay.
Oh.
There were Irish guys, Vikings guys, and Portuguese. Portuguese?
Right. Portuguese.
And they would not stay because they were not able to deal with the harsh climate. For example, they would have a kayak and they would light a fire in it and it would sink.
Really?
But we know today you cannot have your kayak and heat it too. But we know who says they founded the country of Canada. 'Twas the Scots that built this country, it should never be forgot. In each Canadian family, somewhere there's a Scot. When Sir John A. Macdonald looked out across this land, what he saw before him, a Scot would understand. Those first few encounters with the savages were hot.
It's First Nations, not savages.
I was referring to the Scots.
Oh, aye.
St. Andrew's ball is lavish in towns both great and small. All around the world the Scots are famous for their balls. Wherever Scotsmen travel, there were two things that they brought. Whiskey.
And containers.
The containers were the Scots.
Oh, aye.
'Twas the Scots that built this country. By the Scots this land was built, not by pea soup or Yorkshire pudding, but by porridge, pipe and kilt. While politicians argue what is right and what is not, they do it in the comfort of buildings made by Scots. In every corporation they've always saved a spot for a portrait of their founder, a penny pinching,
Glowering, red-faced,
whiskey drinking,
Presbyterian,
anhedonic,
bagpipe squeezing,
caber tossing,
apoplectic,
haggis eating Scot. 'Twas the Scots that built this country with great big hairy knees. We owe a debt of gratitude. 2 more whiskeys, please.
All right, I'd like to do a tribute now to the frontline workers of the COVID-19 experience, the frontline workers, those who put their life on the line to save lives. They did, and I'm especially thinking of the nurses. I know there were many people who did their best to get us through this period, but the nurses, there's something about the nurses. I mean, they really did a wonderful job. So
Above and beyond.
And also, I have a song about them, so I should, I'll do this for them.
All right.
Guys like to date nurses. With a nurse, you know where you stand. Nurses have low expectations, and that's always good for a man. A nurse may have spent several hours up to her elbows in spew. So if you whisper, let's go, she might say no, but at least she'll never say ew. If you say, let's go, she might say no, but a nurse will never say ew. A nurse is in charge of the catheter. A nurse has to bathe a bed sore. So whatever you might want to show her, believe me, she's seen it before. And so you don't have to worry if your nakedness comes into view. And although she might say no, at least she'll never say ew. And although she might say no, a nurse will never say ew. A nurse is never offended at something that you've said or done. Nurses are busy with practical things, and nurses just want to have fun. There's oral and anal thermometers. I've seen them all over the place. I asked the nurse the difference. She smiled and said, the taste. So guys, if you want to be happy, you better get into the queue. Because although she might say no, a nurse will never say ew. I'd just like to say that, you know, I read a study recently that conclusively proved that laughter extends your lifespan. Not only feels good, not only people like it, but it extends your lifespan. So we'd like to say, George and I, that we hope everybody who spent the last hour with us has, we hope that we've given you a couple of extra days. Right? Okay. They say nostalgia ain't what it used to be, but that's not true for me. Because I long for those times when we were free and we could say hello in the town I used to know. I'll always think of you it seems a shame that nothing stays the same. The old man who is pointing to a space up in midair says, see that spot above that lot? I used to live right there. Yes, they're tearing down all our favorite buildings with no good reason. It's like rubble without a cause. Yes, Montreal used to have so many great nightclubs downtown. You could go out and see Frank Sinatra or Tony Bennett perform, Ella Fitzgerald. My goodness, it was a time when beer bottles were round and stubby. Remember that? Now we're round and stubby. Yes, it was an era where you could go out and you could see 20 guys all playing on stage simultaneously. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get 2.
I'll always think of you, the town I somehow knew. I see it everywhere, as though it was still there. The way the world was then seems like a heaven. And when I'm gone, you know, that's where I hope to
Okay, we are proud Canadians. I said this was our Canada Day show, so we'd like to end with the national anthem. George is putting on his big red Canadian guitar, especially for that. And would like to say that we still believe that comedy is an essential service. Yes, so that's what we're trying to do here, yeah.
So, like, I got the guitar in now, and I'm ready to do the national anthem.
The national anthem.
Yeah. All set?
I'm set.
All right. That isn't the national anthem. I know that. I know that's the theme from Bonanza, featuring a Canadian by the name of Lorne Greene. It was a television show in the 1960s, and there are actually words to that song that you can sing. You can sing these words, for example. They say that all the oil is in Alberta. What a shame the dipsticks are all in Ottawa. You can sing that if you wanted to. I like the Calgary Women's Quilting Guild version of the theme from Bonanza. Here's what they sing. Get it up, get it in, get it out, don't muss my hairdo. Yes, I came here many years ago from England, and I stayed because of something a Canadian girl said to me the first week I was here. She said, okay. I wasn't used to that. In England, all they ever said to me was, would you like something for the swelling? I love this country.